Two things have been on my mind ever since yesterday. I just wanted to discuss it with the chat, see what everybody's opinions are. Am I a top G? Goddamn yes. The fact that you're even asking that? Come on. So I posted this on Twitter, shout out Lewis, and it looks like it went viral in that if SoFaygo signed to Opium, this is what he would look like. They put like the little silver hair like Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson, a little bit grungier background, right? I think that the chains and the shirt is just what SoFaygo would wear normally, but he has pink hair, so it's a bit different. Based solely off of the hair color, I feel like that's all you got to do. Except, what was Carti's hair? Red before? I feel like it just has to be more, what's the word, like piercing colors, whereas SoFaygo's like more fruity, or that's gonna make me sound like I'm dissing him, but more delightful, if you will. The weather outside's delightful, but my dear. Regarding SoFaygo signing to Opium, hypothetical scenario. Now, we've seen the help that Travis Scott has given him. Yes, sure, he gets the co-sign, he gets to go to these fashion shows and whatever Kardashian orgies. I think we'd all love to accompany them. Am I wrong here? But with Carti, like, it might be a bunch of gay vamps at these orgies. Not psych. What I was gonna say though was Travis Scott really didn't help the rollout for Pink Hearts. So is it really that great to be signed to Travis Scott? Again, like, so great. You get a co-sign, but he didn't even post Pink Hearts on his social media, and I've heard that he just wasn't helping at all, and it was an independent release. So maybe that was SoFaygo's fault. Travis didn't necessarily, or his management. Travis Scott didn't really associate himself with it, because since he was going independent, maybe he knew that the numbers weren't going to be at the same level as, say, like Yeet, where it's always a good thing when artists co-sign and then the album does well, so these artists can be like, yo, that was all me. Like, you know, Travis Scott will be the first person in the next magazine article being like, yo, my new artist SoFaygo going crazy, like, you know, we signed him and all of a sudden it's like numbers went up. I just don't know what it is. It's like, I didn't do anything. I guess it was just off the name. But no, look what happened. It just shows that the Playboi Carti, as we've discussed, cosign is way stronger than Travis Scott, because quite frankly, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, Carti hasn't done much for them either. However, he doesn't have to. All you got to do is post on those, like, his little Opium or Opium Lab, whatever account it is, because I think one of them got taken down or he deactivated it. So the mere fact is, like, Destroy Lonely going number 91 with Carti not saying anything, whereas SoFaygo was actually way bigger than Destroy Lonely before they dropped, and the discrepancy between the fucking results, right? So where would SoFaygo be, chat, if he did sign to Opium? Because I know some people in the comments of this tweet were saying, like, he wouldn't fit, or like it just wouldn't work out. I think that it would, because no matter what, like, let's be real, there are a lot of Carti dick riders. If Carti signed fucking Lil Nas X, people would be supporting that shit. And not saying that you shouldn't support it, but, like, you know what I mean? It would get that underground momentum no matter who it is. He could have signed fucking Smiley, Drake's artist, who's utterly garbage, and people would still be like, yo, you know, it's a little bit controversial, or not controversial, but it's a little bit like outside the box, but this shit go crazy. You know it would be true. Just put Smiley on a filthy beat and a Carti cosign, and shit would be hitting Billboard potentially. And the underground would be going crazy. But anyway, where would SoFaygo be with the Carti cosign / signing to Opium? And I know SoFaygo is getting offers out the wazoo from, I even heard at one point, like, Trippy, like a while back. Let's just say labels. I don't want to, like, expose people. I think SoFaygo would absolutely be killing shit. I think Carti would have told him the right moves, regardless if he did the independent distributor. Because I think even Destroy Lonely has a similar situation where if you check his No Stylist project, I don't know if he's distributed by a major label. Like go to no stylist. Look at this. We're going to the bottom. It says 2022 Opium, which is very similar to if you go to SoFaygo's, it straight up says 2022 Cactus Jack. Whereas if you go to Travis Scott's, it's like Cactus Jack in part, or actually no, with Don Toliver, it's Cactus Jack in partnership with Atlantic, I believe. Whereas Ken Carson, let's see, this is when you know they have a major that is distributing for them. Opium / Interscope. You see this? So the fact that Destroy Lonely independently or half indie, because all these people signed to 10K projects and Cactus Jack, come on, that's not full independence. Like you kidding me? We've already gone over this though. So the fact of the matter is, Opium is better than is factually a better label than Cactus Jack. I mean, Cactus Jack kind of under fire right now with the Atlantic Records numbers being inflated by fake streams. Oh, that's an Atlantic issue, not necessarily Cactus Jack. At the Cactus Jack level or like the imprint level, they don't really handle that situation. They kind of let the majors do all the marketing and whatnot. Was he ever given the option to join Opium? That'd be a good question. I think that if we reverse time, Carti would have been like, yo, sign here. But you only get in the feature if you sign here. It's kind of like the Drake situation. Like, I don't know if that's true, because I think the artists that Drake works with aren't necessarily signed, but Drake definitely gets a huge cut of those songs for sure. But in conclusion, I think SoFaygo would be killing it right now. And also just with the whole entire narrative, if he was with Opium, you have a force field around you. Like nobody can think you're corny, nobody can say that you flopped, whatever, because in Opium they don't even give a fuck about numbers. The Carti fan base is let's be real, is biased as hell. Like if Carti sells 50K, there's gonna be some sort of justification there, like, yo, he's not making mainstream music. So same thing with this. Like because Ken Carson didn't sell anything and nobody said a word, bro. Nobody said a word. Even though I don't think that underground artists should be held accountable to selling that. But SoFaygo for sure. When you go Travis Scott route, basically expected. If you're not signed to Opium as an underground artist or doing it independently, none of these labels are really going to be able to help you if you can't get your shit running by yourself. But SoFaygo did end up, he had it. He just didn't get the right boost. But I think from what I've heard, SoFaygo next album is going to be going with a major distributor. So expect a lot bigger numbers from SoFaygo, because honestly, you're done for if you don't sell somewhere in the ballpark of at least 10-20K at SoFaygo, because of like the whole potential that everybody thought he had. You know what I mean? Like if he remains underground for another couple years and everybody starts passing, because I think Summers is going to start selling first week sales like in the media. Like you can't get passed by more than 2 people, bro. You need another Knock Knock. He needed another Off the Map. He just needed to drop the project with the Rage sound, because he was one of the originators of that sound. If you recall, like Off the Map made Rage cool, because it was a new thing, a new trend. And then all of a sudden we got Mr. Rage by Trippie Redd, all before Carti was even speculated to be on it. Then everybody else in the underground started hopping on it. And then SoFaygo in the interview was like, no, I don't want to rap on these beats anymore. Probably because everybody else was on it. So I understand. But at the same time, this is a music business. You need to hop on the shit that you know will do well to solidify your place, your career. And then later on, you can start doing your artistic shit like the next year. I think that was where he went wrong. He didn't hit the iron while it was hot. Really, that's all he needed to do. Just one project with the hot sound. Because now the biggest complaint was like, for Pink Hearts at least, was, oh, I missed the old Faygo. Well, That was the old Faygo right there, the off the map shit. That's what popped off. That was trending. I know Knock Knock is a bigger song, technically speaking, because the Lyrical Lemonade music video, but organically, I think Off the Map was the biggest song. Other than like the Knock Knock TikTok trend, but fuck that shit. It's so lame. Old Faygo's not Rage. I know, bro. I know. Stop. Let's stop getting caught up in the semantics here. Off the Map was the trending song. It's the biggest song of SoFaygo off that After Me album. And right now, it was released in what, 2020? So technically speaking, while we're in 2022, that's old Faygo. It's not old Faygo, man. I'm talking about the shit that he dropped in 2014, man. Fuck out of here. And yeah, Hell Yeah is, I think, let's check it out, the biggest song on his newest project, Pink Hearts. Why? Because that's the Rage shit. And like, I'm not even really so tapped into the Rage shit anymore because I feel like it's an old trend, but it was some turn up shit. So why'd it work? It was the trending sound. If he dropped a whole project, look, it has 3 to 4 times more streams than the next best song, Stay Awake. And I think that's the one with Uzi, right? His solo track with Ken Carson got more streams right now. Although it was a single, so that's not fair. But you get the point. It's a hotter song too, because this doesn't show like total streams. It's just what is getting more streams at this second or this week. But if he dropped a whole project in 2021 of all Hell Yeah type beats, kind of like Trippy did with Trip at Night, he would be busting right now all over the fans' faces. You think it would have been worse? Well, it's not necessarily. There's a difference between the quality of the music and the performance. Again, like sometimes I think as a creator, and this spans outside of just music, you have to appease what the people want at a given time, but also be working on shit that you like. It's the give and take, because people obviously want you to make what you want to progress the sound forward and not stay stagnant. But at the same time, you want to give people, like, feed the fans something. Because if it's easy to make Rage songs. Let's be real. I mean, I'm not a musician or anything, but everybody was making Rage beats at the time. So just fucking make a couple. You can even leak them, put them on SoundCloud, or actually just drop a project that would have hit off the map type beats everywhere. It would have done wonders. It might even hit more than 10K, especially with the hype that SoFaygo had at the time. Let's be honest. Can I explain publishing and distribution deals and what kind of deal is worth it, independent or record label? All of them are technically, in scenarios, worth it. It really depends the terms. Like, that's why you need a lawyer or good management. Good management in this game is literally crucial, because a lot of these artists, they just see a fucking number. They don't even look in as in like the advance that they're getting. They don't see like what percentage they're getting afterwards, or what the budget's going to be used for, or how many albums they have to give the label, what's considered a mixtape and a album, how many years they got to be in it, how much control they got. So you got to really look into that, because if you get a record deal, a 360, but they giving you 50 mil, and like you kind of got to do what they say. Meanwhile, you're an artist with 10K followers. Shit, clock in like a 9 to 5 every single day, bro. Give them what they want, because that's 50 mil. There's no guarantee that you would have even made 50 mil in your career, at least music wise, if you had gone independent or a distro deal. You know what I mean? So there's pros and cons to both ways. Business is ever so complicated. People don't realize he had to evolve his sound to get that mainstream appeal / fan base. Stealthy, I feel you, but I think that the difference is you can do both. You can, because I feel like the underground fan base is actually one of the best to have, because they're so dedicated, and SoFaygo had that shit on lock. I mean, why do you think like Destroy Lonely independently is doing so well? Because he has that shit on lock. I'd say he's one of the top in the game. He might be the top of the underground right now, and he's not getting much help from a major label. He's definitely getting promotion, don't get me wrong, like I've seen it, but you can again appease the underground while also doing some mainstream shit. And that's kind of what he did with Hell Yeah. So maybe that's what he was trying to do, have like a little rage banger on there that they knew for a fact. And that's why they did a music video, right? They got Ken Carson, one of the underground goats currently. They got SoFaygo, and they got the music video, so that's even more promotion. Hits platforms harder because the visuals always add like a different element to it to get more views and like add a little bit more context. And so that's why they put that as a single and released it prior to the album. But I just feel like a whole tape of Rage, even if it was an EP, like a 7-song, like what Ye did with Life, testing out a new sound with Benny X, I think it would have been beneficial. We'll see though. I'm rooting for him. I'm not a hater, y'all. I want to see SoFaygo win.